Getting started with DeepSeek R1. Let's start with the basics. What is DeepSeek R1? DeepSeek R1 is a free, browser based AI assistant that helps you write, study, code, and think more clearly. It works through natural, chat style prompts and gives you instant responses. Unlike other tools, it's open source, does not require an account, and is completely free to use. You just visit the website, type your question, and get your answer. Accessing DeepSeek R1. To use DeepSeek R1, open your browser and go to this link. You can just click in here or type DeepSeek AI and this link which says chat.deepseek.com. You can click on that. That's it. No sign up, no download. Just a blank chat window ready for your prompt. On mobile, you can open the same URL in your browser or download the DeepSeek AI Assistant app from the App Store or Google Play if you want faster access. The interface works the same on both. Exploring the interface. Once you are in, here is what you will see. A prompt box at the bottom, like this one, is called the prompt box. This is where you type. A chat window above it. Your responses will appear here. This is the new chat button. When you click on that, then this interface will be reset. But the chat history will be appearing in here. A submit button, or you can just press enter to send. This is called the submit button when you just write a prompt and you can just click in here or press enter to let the prompt run. You can scroll through responses, copy useful ones using the copy icon to overlapping squares, and delete old chats using the three dot menu beside each conversation. Like for example, if you have this one and if you want to delete this conversation, you can check this one and here is the option called delete. It asks us again and when you just did. So this chat section has been cleared. Want a clean slate? Click the new chat button in the top left corner or refresh your browser. For example, if you want everything to be reset, then you can just click on here or refresh this page by clicking on this icon. Let's try a few examples. Example 1. For example, if you have written an article and you just want to summarize the article to a specific number of words, then you can just give it a prompt as summarize this article. Summarize this article in 100 words, colon, and paste the article that you have already written. And you can press enter or use this icon. When you just click on that, this prompt will be running. Result. A short, structured summary perfect for notes or essays. Here you can see this was the article that you have already written and it just summarized it in 100 words, like this one. Example 2. Prompt sensitivity. Let's test how changing the wording changes the result. Prompt A. You just give it a prompt as explain quantum computing. Explain quantum computing. And you just press enter. Here you can see it explains quantum computing. But we have prompt B as explain quantum computing in simple terms for a high school student. And when you just press enter, that's prompt sensitivity. The way you ask determines how helpful the answer is. You will be learning this in more depth throughout the course. Quick demo prompt. Try this one. For example, we have list 3 benefits of using AI tools in education in detail. This prompt will give you a detailed benefits of using AI tools in education with all the bullet points as well. Okay, then follow up with explain each one in one sentence. And you can just press enter. Here you can see it summarizes each benefit in single sentence so that you have the desired output as per the prompt that you will be giving. So this is how the prompt works in DeepSeek. What makes a prompt work? Why prompt quality matters. DeepSeek R1 doesn't guess what you meant. It responds to exactly what you write. If your prompt is too vague, you will get generic answers. If it's clear and specific, you will get something useful. Let's take a look at two examples. Prompt example 1. Vague versus clear. For example, we give it a prompt A as tell me about climate change and press enter. Okay, so it has given us all the details that were very generic. Okay, but if we give it a second prompt as you can add a new chat and let's give it a prompt B as give me three key difference. Mhm. Give me three key effects of climate change on agriculture in simple language and press enter. Prompt A might give you a full article or jump between causes, impacts, and history. Prompt B gets right to the point with focused, scannable results. Here you can see you have this key causes, effects, and the future outlook as well. But when you just give it a prompt B as this one, then it gives you a very specific and scannable results. Prompt example 2 with context. For example, you can have a new chat in here and give it a prompt as explain the stock market to a beginner in 150 words. Okay, and you just press enter and let it write it for you. Now, R1 knows your target audience, a beginner, and your format, short, that changes how it answers. Prompt example 3. Add tone and format. You can write a prompt in here as new chat in here and give it a prompt as write a friendly paragraph that encourages college students to take breaks while studying and press enter. This tells R1 how to sound, who it's for, and what to say. You can even say make it sound human or add a motivational tone. For example, you can add in here as make it sound human and press enter. The tone will be changed. And you can apply that add a motivational tone and press enter. And R1 will adjust accordingly. Here you can see it gives us a motivational paragraph which sound like a human and it gives a friendly paragraph as well. So it is trained like that and it gives you a very inspiring and a very useful paragraph. Asking for structure, lists, tables, and summaries. How to prompt for lists. Lists help break information down clearly and are suitable for slides, study notes, or reports. Prompt. You can give it a generic prompt as list 5 benefits of group study for university students in detail, for example. And you just press enter, and it will give you all the details and benefits of group study for university students in detail. Yeah, you can see it is giving you all the details. So it has given you this data that you can use. But what if you want bullets instead? You can just say, give me the same list in bullet points. So press enter. So there is no more detail, but all the points are converted into bullet points. And you can use them in a presentation or to make notes as well. How to prompt for tables. If comparing two or more things, ask R1 to use a table. You can give it a prompt as, you can do a new chat, and you can just give it a prompt as create a comparison table of renewable versus non-renewable energy sources. And you can just press enter. Here you can see it is converting all the data into a table. And it has given you 3 columns and these numbers of rows. You can also specify the number of columns, such as you can give it a prompt as make a 3-column table comparing features, pros and cons of email, chat and video calls, and press enter. And it will convert all the details into specific columns that you have given the instruction. And it is giving you a summary as well. So here you have all the results, as these are the points. It is for email, it is for chat, and this is for video call. And these are all the pros and cons for all of these: email, chat and video calls, and best for as well. Prompting for summaries. Sometimes you just want a quick version of something long. Try this. You can give it a prompt as in new chat. You can give it a prompt as summarize this paragraph in 2 sentences. And you can just paste that text and you can use this one. So it has given you these 2 sentences. The first one is in here and the second one as this one. Want it even shorter? You can give it a prompt as summarize the key points in one sentence and press enter. Here you have only one sentence of the entire paragraph that you have already given to DeepSeek. But you can give it a prompt as if you want a one-liner summary, and you can just give it a prompt as give me a one-line summary I can use in a slide and press enter. Here you can see all these entire paragraph, this one, the long and detailed one, has been converted into one line, so you can use it in a slide or anywhere you want. Changing tone and detail level. Example 1. Short, friendly, motivational. You can give it a prompt as write a short, confident paragraph convincing a student to apply for a scholarship they don't think they will get. So press enter. Why it works? It blends tone, confident and encouraging, wise, motivational, and detail level, short paragraph. It's also highly relatable for students and demonstrates emotional tone shifting. This is perfect for social posts, emails, or presentation openers. Real world adjustments. Example 2. Polished email prompt. So you can just click on new chat and give it a prompt as draft a formal 3-sentence email reminding Professor Lee about my pending recommendation letter. And you just press enter. Why this works? Formal sets a respectful tone. 3-sentence keeps it concise, and Professor Lee makes the message feel specific and personal. Example 3. Simplified concept explanation. You can give it a prompt as, you can just click on new chat and give it a prompt as explain blockchain like I am 12 in 2 sentences max, and just press enter. Why this works? Like I'm 12 forces the AI to simplify and drop the jargon, and the 2 sentences max limits the response to something scannable and usable in notes or slides. The more constraints you give, like age level, tone, and length, the more useful the answer becomes. Summarizing articles, notes, and PDFs. Example 1. Summary in bullet points. This is a go-to prompt when you want a quick snapshot of what something's about. Perfect for last-minute prep or reviewing big chunks of reading. You can give it a prompt as summarize the following paragraph in 3 clear bullet points and colon, and just paste the text or write a paragraph that you want to be summarized in 3 bullet points. So when you just click on that or press enter, it will summarize this paragraph into 3 bullet points. So this has converted this article into these 3 bullet points with a little explanation. You can even add these prompts as use beginner friendly language and press enter. So it will convert into a beginner friendly language. Or you can give it a prompt as keep it factual and no opinions and press enter. So this gives you a clear takeaways without reading every paragraph, which is great for fast comprehension when you are under pressure. Example 2. Condensing lecture notes. You can have a new chat in here and give it a prompt as summarize summarize these lecture notes into two short paragraphs I can review before the exam, and just colon, and you can upload a file in here as PDF. We have this one and you can click on open. It will take a little while to process this file so that it can summarize into two short paragraphs. And so it has been uploaded and you can just click on here or press enter, as it has been summarizing the entire paragraph, which is of 5.2 MB, so it must have 40 to 42 pages, and it has been converting the entire PDF file into two short paragraphs. So here you can see, for example, if we open that file, you can just go to the file section and click on this file. You can use any of these for once. Here you can see it has 42 pages with climate change topic, and it has all these points, explanations, and the summary of the entire meeting with all these images and paragraphs. Here you can see this entire document has been converted into these two short paragraphs. If your notes are lengthy, messy, or disorganized, need it faster, try this prompt. Like you can give it a prompt as give me just the key terms with short explanations, and press enter. So here you can see, as this file was summarized into two short paragraphs, you just converted these paragraphs into points with a little explanations. Outlining and expanding assignments. Why start with an outline? Outlines give your assignment a roadmap. Without one, your ideas float around. With one, everything clicks. The good news? R1 is good at turning a vague prompt into a clean structure. Example 1. Creating an outline from a topic. For example, you just give it a prompt as create a 4-point outline for an essay on the impact of social media on mental health. You can be even more specific. You can just add as make it suitable for a college level argumentative essay. So when you just hit enter, here is a concise 4-point outline for a college level argumentative essay on the impact of social media on mental health. R1 returns a clear 4-part structure with an introduction, body points, and a conclusion. Here you can see It has introduction, body parts, and a solution and a conclusion. This is perfect when you don't know where to begin. Example 2. Expanding bullet points into a paragraph. For example, you just add a new chat and give it a prompt as, let's say you have rough notes like social media increases anxiety and fear of missing out, and you have disrupted sleep. Okay, you have 3 points, and you can just give it a prompt as turn this point into a clear paragraph with transitions and explanations. And when you just hit enter, so R1 connects the dots for you without overthinking, and it converted these points into a well-detailed paragraph. Example 3. Expanding a thesis or topic sentence. So for that you can just have a new chat as it will be a new topic. You can give it a prompt as expand this sentence into an opening paragraph. And you can just give it a sentence as online learning has changed how students interact with teachers and peers. And when you just hit enter, here you can see it gives you a heading as well, and it just converts into an opening paragraph with key expansions, with context, benefits, challenges, and forward looking as well. This works well when you know what you want to say, but not how to stretch it into a full introduction or body section. Generating titles, hooks, and presentation points. Why your opening matters. First impressions are not just for interviews, they are for writing and presenting too. A bland title or flat introduction makes even great content feel forgettable. DeepSeek R1 can help you brainstorm fresh titles, refine your opening sentence or slide, create a clean list of points to guide your presentation. Example 1. Generating title options. You can give it a prompt as give me 5 title options for an essay on how social media affects student mental health. Okay, now when you just press enter, here you go. You have 5 strong title options about this topic. You will get a mix of creative, academic, and persuasive titles to choose from. Want to be more specific? You can add these phrases to get more clear and engaging titles. For example, make the titles sound academic and clear. Make them sound creative and catchy. Keep them under 10 words. This helps when you're stuck on how to name your work in a way that fits your tone. Example 2. Crafting an engaging hook. For that, you can just give it a prompt as write a hook sentence. Write a hook sentence for a speech about climate change aimed at university students. And when you just press enter, Here you go. You have a hook sentence for a speech. Want different styles? Ask for a surprising statistic, a short story or scenario, a rhetorical question. Example follow up. You can give it a prompt as now turn it into a more casual version for a class presentation. And when you just press enter, this is great for both essays and slide-based intros. Example 3. Creating talking points. Let's say you have been asked to speak for 5 minutes on a topic. You can give it a prompt as list 3 talking points for a short presentation on the benefits of renewable energy. And when you just press enter, so you will get 3 talking points for a short presentation, and you can follow up as add one example or stat to support each point. And when you just press enter, so you will get the talking points with a little explanation, an example and stat as well. This gives you a structure you can speak from without writing a full script. Pro tips for better results. Use these phrases to shape your output. Make it sound persuasive. Keep it short and student friendly. Use list format for easy copy-paste into slides. Suggest a slide title for each point. You are telling R1 the end format, so it gives you something you can use directly. Writing simple code snippets. Why use R1 for code? Sometimes you just need help getting started. Maybe you are taking an intro to programming class, working on a basic web assignment, curious how code works. R1 can generate working examples, explain what each part of the code does, help you experiment and learn safely. Prompt example 1. Python, a simple calculator. Let's say you want to start simple. You could ask R1 as, you just give it a prompt as, write a Python program that adds two numbers and prints the result, and press enter. Here it gives you 3 different examples. The one when it asks the user for input, second without user input and it assumes 2 different numbers as well, and the third one is using f strings. So you have 3 different versions that could add 2 numbers and print the result as well. R1 will give you a short working script with variables, user input and a line that prints the total. Once you have got that, you can build on it. Try a follow-up prompt like that. You can give it a prompt as the following. Now add subtraction and multiplication options. You can give it a prompt like that as well, or you can just add that and explain what each line of the code is doing, and press enter. Now it is explaining line by line as well that what print function does and how the subtraction, multiplication or addition will be done. and the key features as well. Examples output like addition, subtraction, multiplication. The first one will subtract. Here you can see 10 minus 4 is 6, as the number 2 does the subtraction. This approach is great if you are just getting started with the Python and want to understand the basic syntax step by step. Prompt example 2, HTML, a basic web page. You can just start a new chat in here for the HTML. And let's try another example, this time with HTML. You might ask R1 as, you can give it a prompt like that, write HTML code for a basic web page with a title and a short paragraph. And you can just press enter. R1 will give you a clean structure you can copy straight into an HTML editor or test in your browser. If you want to build on it, try a follow-up prompt like that. You can give it a prompt as, now add an image and a link to another page, and press enter. So you have this entire code, and you can run a code in here as well, and you can download that or copy and paste this entire code into HTML editor to run this entire code. This is a great case for digital media, design or IT students who want to see how simple web pages are built without starting from scratch. Prompt example 3, JavaScript, simple interactivity. Now that you have seen how R1 handles Python for basic logic and HTML for structure, let's add one more, JavaScript for simple interactivity. You could prompt R1 with like that. You can give it a prompt as, write a JavaScript function that shows an alert when a button is clicked, and press enter. R1 will give you the whole setup, not just the function, but often the HTML you need to test it. Want to build on it? Try this follow-up prompt like that. Make the alert say, hello, name based on user input, and press enter. This helps you understand basic interactivity and how JavaScript responds to actions like clicks and connecting things like input fields and user behavior. Tip: describe the function, not the code. If you're not sure what language to use, just describe what you want the code to do. For example, if you're not sure if you use Python, HTML, JavaScript or any other language, but you just want to sort the numbers from lowest to highest, you can just write a prompt like that. Write a code that sorts a list of numbers from lowest to highest, and press enter. It is giving you all the options that could work depending on the prompt, and you have HTML code and manual implementation, quick sort, more efficient, manual implementation, bubble sort, and the sort function as well. R1 will choose the right logic and give you a working solution. You can always ask, what language is this written in? Or can you convert this to Python? Solving logic and math problems. Why use R1 for problem solving? Sometimes you don't want the final answer, but want to know how to get there. That's where R1 shines. With the correct input, it can break down logic puzzles or sequences, solve word problems clearly, walk through basic math, percentages, or equations step by step. Example 1, word problem. Structured math. Let's try a classic word problem. You can give it a prompt like that. Solve this word problem and show the steps. And the problem is a train. A train travels to 40 miles in 4 hours. What is its average speed? What is its average speed? And press enter. R1 will break it down clearly like this. You have given this one total distance, total time, and the steps as well. So the final answer is 60 miles per hour. This is a great example of how R1 not only answers but also teaches you how it got there, step by step. Example 2, step by step math explanation. Now look at a simple algebra question. You can give it a prompt in a new chat as it will be a really different one. So you just give it a prompt like that. Solve 3x minus 5 equals 16. Show each step clearly and press enter. So, this makes R1 act like a tutor, not just a calculator. It walks you through each part of the solution so you can actually understand the logic, not just memorize the answer. Example 3, logic question. Let's try a real world math problem you might see in class. You can give it a prompt like that in a new chat, and you can just give it a prompt as a store offers 15% off on all items if a backpack costs $40 before the discount. How much does it cost after the discount? Show how you solve it and press enter. So, after the discount, the price will be $34, but it just shows you that how it calculated all these equations. You can also use walk me through the logic, break it down into simple steps, explain your reasoning. This prompt is great for applied math problems like percentages, deductions, or real life scenarios. Troubleshooting bad outputs. When AI misses the mark, here's how you know your output needs a fix. The answer is super generic. It doesn't answer your question. It goes off on a weird tangent. It's way too long and says very little. This is like asking someone for help and getting the response, yeah, just be confident. Helpful? Not really. Fix example 1. From vague to useful. Let's say you type a prompt like that. Tell me about time management. And press enter. It is converting all those points in a detail and giving you bullet points as well. with common time management mistakes, which I didn't ask for really. So here is the details outcome. R1 gives you something like time management is very important, it helps people succeed. Okay, but that's not useful. The response is too long and vague and doesn't focus on a single aspect. Try this prompt instead. You can give it a prompt as give me 3 time management tips for college students, and add that explain each one in one sentence and press enter. Let it do it for you. Now you have got specific advice in the right format for the right audience. Fix example 2, redirecting off topic answers. Now let's say you type another prompt like that, help me with my assignment, and press enter. R1 doesn't know what kind of help you need, so it guesses or asks you a few questions to specify what sort of help you need about the subject, due date, and so on. Like here you can see subject, specific requirements, deadline, and your progress as well. Fix it like this, as give it a prompt as I am writing a 300-word opinion paragraph on whether students should have homework Give me 3 strong points. Strong points I could choose. And press enter. Now R1 knows the task, the format, and the angle. So you can observe that there is a big difference between both answers. Like it just asks you a couple of questions in here, but when you just give it a detailed prompt and the topic and the length of words as well, so it just gives you this outcome, the 3 points with a little detail. Be clear, not harsh. If the response isn't quite right, don't get frustrated. Just guide it in a better direction. Think of it as adjusting the conversation. You can follow up with things like, can you make this clearer? Summarize that in bullet points. Give me an example. Focus only on the academic side. That's too broad. Narrow it to high school students. R1 isn't difficult. It just needs better instructions. The more specific you are, the more helpful it becomes. Vague prompts might give you an answer, but focused prompts give you specific and focused answers, and it helps you learn. Ethics and academic integrity. Quick contrast demo. Let's say a student is given homework. Write a 300-word essay on why students should get more sleep. Here is how 2 students might choose DeepSeek R1. Same prompt, very different outcomes. Student A. He opens R1 and types list 3 reasons why students should get more sleep. Press enter. So, R1 suggests improved academic performance, better mental and physical health, increased energy and productivity. Student A reads the suggestions, chooses the ones that fit their experience, adds personal examples, and writes the essay in his own words. This is ethical. He used R1 like a brainstorming partner, but the writing Ideas and voice are still his own. Student B. He opens R1 and types. For that, we just have a new chat in here. And he types, write a 300-word essay on why students should get more sleep, and press enter. So, it is converting the prompt into a well-polished essay. Here it is. R1 gives him a polished essay. He copies and pastes it, changes a few words, and submits it as if he had done it himself. This crosses the line, as it is unethical. R1 did all the thinking, writing, and structuring. There is no learning, no effort, and no originality. Final practice challenge. Demo. Study schedule planning. Think of DeepSeek R1 as your personal study assistant. It can help plan, organize, and guide your tasks, just like a smart digital planner. For this demo, I'm going to use DeepSeek R1 to plan a 1-week study schedule for finals. Let's see how it responds, and then we will talk about what worked and what didn't. Suppose I have 3 subjects: math, English, and history, and I want a 1-week study plan. So we can give it a prompt as create a 1-week study plan for final exams in 3 subjects, and give it the subjects as well: history, math, and English, and press enter. Here is what it gave me. It includes daily tasks, time slots, and even breaks. Here you can see. It just asked me to take a 5-minute break after studying 25 to 30 minutes. That's a good start. That's helpful, especially for someone who struggles with planning. The overall structure works, but I noticed it didn't ask when I'm free or when my exams are scheduled. So I could tweak the prompt as follow up with. You can give it a prompt as make it based on 2 hours of study per day with math on Monday and history first, and press enter. Now the schedule feels much more practical. It's focused, balanced, something I could follow, and more personalized. That's the difference a small change can make. That's a win. The original prompt worked, but the follow up made it better. If this format doesn't work for you or fit your style, you can also ask DeepSeek to change the layout of your schedule. Therefore, follow up with, you can have a prompt as, can you make this weekly schedule in the form of table, and press enter.
R1 has formatted the plan with clear rows and columns, and one for each subject or time slot as well. This is the time allocation and for subject and focus area as well. This is often easier to read, especially if you are a visual learner. You can now easily track your progress through this table. Another small tweak that makes a big difference. Tip for your prompt. Start simple, then build on it. The first version will often be close, but not quite right. Ask for structure, add constraints, ask for examples. It's not about getting it perfect on the first try. It's about guiding the tool until it's useful for you.